Cinder here. Welcome to my universe. This is video take 3. I'm having a it's not perfect moment, so I'm going to re-record the whole thing while I sit in traffic. Yay me! My little piece of wisdom or advice or idea, whatever you want to call it, has to do with interactions in relationships. Like, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could just be a friend, a best friend, a roommate, parents, living companions. But there's these little things that I've seen people do sometimes, lots of people actually, that'll make little passive-aggressive comments or preemptive judgments, and it'll initiate an argument. Or you have one person who's a direct communicator and you have a person who's an indirect communicator, and the direct communicator just says exactly what is happening, like they're just stating an event or a fact or something they're witnessing or noticing, and they just say it straight. And the inferred, that's what it is, not indirect communicator, but inferred communicator thinks they mean something else by it, because an inferred communicator will say everything around what they want to say, but they won't say exactly what it is. A term people use for this is called beating around the bush, because they go and they beat around the bush before they actually just go pick some berries. You know, whatever. Not sure where that term came from, but I'll look it up now that I thought about it. Anyway, so for example, an inferred communicator, rather than say they want ice cream or a popsicle, I have an example from my 5-year-old who's an inferred communicator. They won't ask you for a popsicle, they won't ask you for ice cream, they won't ask you for ice, they won't ask you for a treat. But they will say things like, I'm really hot. It's sunny today. Are you really hot? I would like a no, they wouldn't even ask for a refreshment. It's hard because I'm more of a direct communicator. You know, I'm hot. I'm really sweaty. I'm tired. It's sunny outside. It's really hot outside. And after a while, you're sitting there going, if you're a direct communicator, you're like, thank you. I'm not sure why you will keep telling me you're hot. Would you like to go stand in the shade? Do you need help with this? Is this something I can help you with? Like, do you need to go put some shorts on? You know? No, they'll say. And eventually, you can pry it out of them. Eventually, maybe. Unless you're me and you understand that when this person or a child starts beating around the bush about something, that they really want something in particular, and you just gotta ask them. So normally I'll be like, kiddo, you need to just ask me what you want, because I do not know. Just tell me. I really want a popsicle. Okay, that was easy enough. Let's fix that. Right? Anyway, so communication issues happen a lot between direct communicators and indirect communicators, because a direct communicator will say something and just state it as fact, or just be telling them about their day and just be like, this and this happened, you know, or why did you do this? And they'll just be honestly curious and they'll just straight up ask the person, why did you do this? But the inferred communicator will look back at them and be like, why are you asking me of why I did that? And then they might jump to conclusions and take offense. And then once they take offense, then the direct communicator is like, well, why are you snapping at me? Why are you jumping down my throat? Why are you acting crazy? You know, they'll say things like that, which, by the way, is not a good idea. And then the inferred communicator was like, oh, that's it? You think I'm crazy? See where this goes? All of a sudden, you're in this huge argument over nothing. Over a simple miscommunication. Two people having a miscommunication. And then it escalates from there. And not only that, it works as a point against their relationship. It's a moment in time where they had an argument, and then it's like a negative. It's much better if something is like that is about to happen, and you, especially if you're aware of it or you notice it, or you've been trying to have a better communication relationship with someone in your life, then it's better to nip it like right in the bud. Right as that miscommunication happens, just diffuse it as quickly as possible. Just be like, I did not mean anything by that. This is what I was trying to do. I'm sorry if you took offense. I really just wanted to talk to you, or I really just wanted to share my day with you, or whatever it was. I really just wanted to do this. But don't snap right back, because then it takes two to argue. It takes two to tango. That's basically what I'm saying. So if you can nip it right in the bud at that little miscommunication, you can start to build a relationship of communication with the person that you're with, whether they're roommate, friend, lover, romantic partner, or whatever. And really, I mean, that's all you can do, right? They have to step up to the plate too. So if you offer a truce hand and they snap and keep wanting to fight, there's really nothing you can do. If they're going to fight, they're going to fight, and the best thing to do is just stop. Because once you stop, you don't give them any energy to continue. You stop giving energy to that fight. Just stop it right away. Obviously, they're not in a mood to communicate. They're not in a mood to work things out. And if it's not going to work right then it's time to let that go. And you can address it later. You can go back and address it, but it's better to just leave it alone. And then if you have someone who's constantly like jumping down your throat or being over judgmental or saying little judgy passive-aggressive comments to you rather than just straight out telling you, a lot of times, for example, moms might do it to their daughters. If they think their daughter's fat, they're like, oh, ate a hot dog at lunch, huh? You know what I mean? That nobody likes that, That doesn't make you feel very good. So you shouldn't have to deal with that, for one. And I think I might be in the wrong lane. And I just might be stuck in the wrong lane for a little bit. Aha! There we go. Crisis averted. Help somebody else out too. Anyway, so you have someone who's being super snappy judgy at you all the time. Best thing to do is to just challenge it head on. You're like, hey, you're saying this and you're saying that, and it makes me feel this way. And then they can say what they're going to say. And you might not like what they're going to say. The other thing to realize is if they're saying something that's passive-aggressive, judgy, and it turns out to be that way, they do think you're fat. And they're like, well, I think if you were better at your diet, then you wouldn't be as fat. And I'm tired of hearing you complain about how fat you are. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So they were making a passive-aggressive, judgmental comment. They do think you're fat. Now, how do you feel about that? And depending on how emotionally charged you are about it, lets you know how much you actually feel that way towards yourself. Now, that's something you can work on now. You found something that you have control over. You don't have control over this other person. They're going to think what they're going to think. They're going to do what they're going to do. What you need to worry about is you. Right? The other thing is, people deserve to live in a home and be in friendships and relationships where they don't have to walk on eggshells every 15 to 30 minutes. So if you're in a living situation where you're constantly getting chewed on or your throat's getting jumped down, it might be time to reevaluate the people that you hang out with, and also reevaluate how you treat those people too, because it will do no good if you move out of a situation where people are really jumping down your throat and you feel like you have to walk on eggshells, and you happen to be a culprit of the same issue. You're only going to make it worse in your next living space. So it's really important that you do take care of you. You take care of your judgments on yourself. You take care of making sure that you're not doing passive-aggressive, jumping down people's throat and being all around unbearable to be around. And then remember that you deserve to live in a safe space too. And it's not safe when somebody's constantly jumping down your throat. That's part of what I'm what I'm getting at. You know, you don't need to be around that kind of energy, attitude, whatever. You deserve to be able to live or be in a space and have complete unattacked. You do not need to be attacked at all. You know, you deserve to have 15 minutes to 5 hours of not being attacked. You do not need to be attacked. You do not deserve that. Nobody does. And most of all, you need to stop attacking yourself, because you can never escape yourself. You can leave hundreds of people behind who are attacking you, but you cannot get away from yourself. You're always going to be there, like your shadow. It's just always there. You just don't always see it. Yeah. Now, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, did it really fall? Right? There's that question. Well, if you thought a thought in your head and nobody heard it, you still thought the thought and you heard it. So, it's real. There it is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my little words of wisdom on some relationship items that I have noticed. Okay, that's all for now.